Haribo, yes, I'm here. Namaste, my name's Janapati Das, and you are with me today for Experience Meditation. Please accept my most respectful obeisances, and thank you for tuning in tonight on this 4th of July Experience Meditation class. I'd like to offer my most humble obeisances unto my spiritual teacher, Jagaguru Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, who taught me this process of meditation that I'm going to teach you tonight. So tonight for meditation, we're going to go through 3 different tiers of mantra meditation, transcendental mantra meditation, that include Goranga breathing, japa meditation, and kirtan. Before we do that, I'd like to actually read a little bit of a verse from the Vedic text, holy Vedic text of the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, which is translated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the spiritual teacher of my spiritual teacher. And in the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 2, text 14, it is said, Krishna says to Arjuna, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of the winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O Sayana Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So I'm reading this text tonight because I want to bring the point to why it's important for us to engage in the meditation that I'm going to teach tonight, just briefly, because in this material world, our minds are disturbed by so many things. And like it's said here in the Bhagavad Gita, there are winter and summer seasons. In other words, in life, there's happiness and distress. There's a good example of winter and summer seasons. It's like a person may be partial to the winter season because they like skiing, they like cold weather, but they don't like the summer. It's hot, or flip version, they don't like the cold, they don't like the time of, it's very dark during winter, but maybe they prefer like the summer season when they can go to the beach. So this analogy is used that in life we have these ups and downs, just constantly going. Things are going really good and things are going really bad. Really good, really bad. My spiritual teacher would always say that it's like everything you would learn on the seesaw. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. You have the seesaw on the playground, which goes up and down on each side. And so we have to learn to be not disturbed by these consistent changings in life that are up and down, because that is just the nature of the material world. And this brings us to, how do we tolerate, how do we stay equiposed? As my spiritual teacher would say, it's good to be equiposed, not up, not down. Don't get so overexcited when you're up, because eventually it's just going to go down. And don't be like completely in lamentation about it being, like life is sucky and I'm just gonna, whatever, I don't want to just be here anymore and this and that. So the point is that these ups and downs arise from our senses, the information that we receive from our senses. So in mantra meditation, what I'm going to teach you tonight, mantra comes from 2 Sanskrit words, man, which means the mind, and tra, which means to draw away. So a mantra is a spiritual sound vibration that is different than a material sound vibration. In other words, you can say the word mango, 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 mango. You can even say it very fancy or sing it, mango, 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 and you'll never know the taste of what a mango is like. But when you say the mantra, the spiritual mantra is handed down from the spiritual teachers to each disciple, you can come to taste happiness and satisfaction. You can come to tolerate the difficulties of the ups and downs of the winter and summer seasons in this life. and you can come to understand the purpose of your life. So this is the purpose of mantra meditation. Meditation, of course, is something to focus your mind upon to bring you true satisfaction and happiness. But many of the things we meditate in this life is actually not very beneficial for our happiness, because it doesn't actually bring the food or the satisfaction to ourselves, which is a spiritual entity, spiritual self. It's based on senses and the material body alone. So the mantras are spiritual sound vibrations, so that when we engage in the saying and the listening, when we engage our senses within the mantras, it's actually bringing us in touch with our true identity, which is spiritual. And not only that, but it's also reawakening, I should say, the relationship that we have with the Supreme Soul. So I wanted to bring that point, because the things of the world are they are non-permanent. In other words, they consistently change and do not have an eternal existence. But as a spiritual entity, we are eternal, so we need something that is actually eternal, and that's where the mantra, which is a spiritual sound vibration, comes into hand. So that being said, if you want to know more about the spiritual science of the Bhagavad Gita, every second Tuesday of the month, which is next Tuesday night, Hawaii Standard Time at 7, I teach a Bhagavad Gita as it is. We also have on the Facebook page several of the classes I've taught, and some of my godbrothers have also taught on the Bhagavad Gita. We have a YouTube channel for Yoga Kirtan Hawaii, which also has some of these classes on there. So you can get a lot of kirtan and a lot of meditation classes and classes on the Bhagavad Gita on these channels, if you want to go a little bit further with that. So that being said, the first tier of mantra meditation practice that I'm going to teach you today is Gauranga, the Gauranga practice of meditation. And so in this practice, it's best to be either sitting in a chair or just in a relaxed state. You can lie down, you can sit in a chair, you can be sitting on the floor, whatever. If you happen to be driving at this time, I would just keep alert to the road ahead of you, but in any other state, you can just relax. So it may be a long day today. I know we still have here in the United States, we still have a bit of a long time here, depending on where you are in the United States, because it's 4th of July. We're celebrating our independence today, so there will be a lot of fireworks. Fortunately, not a lot has happened yet, so if you happen to hear any banging in the background, that will be our fireworks going on. Usually here in Hawaii, it's pretty hefty with the fireworks as the night goes on. So we'll go ahead and just go through this, and hopefully we won't hear too much fireworks sound. So in the practice of Gauranga breathing, I want you just to take a moment, and you can just do some little bit of light yoga. You can roll your shoulders, maybe bring your head down to each shoulder, just loosening up any kind of tension. Just, take a moment to stretch your hands and your arms over your head, stretching. And remember to engage your breath in some deep breathing. So we'll just take a moment here to do just some breathing alone. Just breathe in through your nose. Exhale audibly, say ah. And then just continue that. Inhale. Ah. Let's do one more of those. Ah. Good. So we're going to utilize this deep breathing in our Gorunga practice, Gorunga breathing practice. Um, but we will utilize actually a mantra that I will teach you tonight, and that is Goranga. And I'll just break that up for you, and you can repeat after me if you've never heard this mantra before. Gor, Ra, Ang. That's ang like sung. Anga. Gor, Ra, Ang, Ga. Now we can put those all together to have this one mantra. Goranga. 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 Okay, so not too difficult. Every mantra has a meaning, and this particular mantra means one with the golden effulgence, one with the golden essence, having to do with the Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna. Krishna as being the golden, Lord Chaitanya being the golden avatar, the golden Supreme Lord, one with the golden essence. But like I said, it's more important that we engage the sound and the speaking of the mantra. We don't have to utilize our mind so much and try to speculate about, what does this golden avatar look like, and what is the golden, a golden sun, and trying to get all these things in your head. It can be a little bit distracting. So first of all, if this is new to you, just go ahead and engage in the practice of just listening to the sound Goranga. Goranga. Now I'm going to utilize a little bit of some magic crystal bowls. You don't need the crystal bowls, but I like to do it for a little bit of ambience. If you happen to have a harmonium or, a little bit of one of those little chimes or whatever, that helps. But you don't need to engage in mantra meditation. You don't really need any instruments per se. It just helps in this practice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Goranga, the mantra, and on our inhale of our breath, in our mind, we'll utilize our mind here because the mind is a bit of like a monkey. It jumps around all over the place. We're going to utilize the sound Goranga in our mind. And on the exhale, we will audibly say Goranga. We will continue with our inhale with the mantra in our mind. Exhale, audibly say it. The timing does not have to follow with me. Whatever your breathing capacity is, it could be short, it could be long, it could be after me, whatever. I'm just going to demonstrate it for you, and you can do it along with me. And an important point is that there's not too many hard and fast rules, but there are some of the main rule is to remember to try to stay focused on the sound of the mantra and the saying of the mantra. Now, because of the tendency of our mind, it'll start to try to switch channels, like, okay, I want to go see the other news, because that's just the way it goes, and this day and age with so many things on Facebook, and we're constantly scrolling and looking at things. Used to be when I was younger, it was like commercials, right? 30-second commercials on TV, but now it's even worse, faster and faster. TikTok, so many things that are moving. Our mind is going from one thing to the other. The practice of mantra meditation helps us refocus on the spiritual and take away from the material. As we said in mantra, it helps lift the mind away from the material element and place it upon the spiritual, which is the mantra itself, right? The sound vibration of Krishna. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice this. So just if you find your mind wandering away, just gently bring it back, and we'll do that. So we're going to start. I'll start with a little bit of some crystal bowl sounds. Inhale with mantra in your mind. back to your breathing. So a very nice and meditative way to meditate. And there's real no hard and fast rules. You don't really need the crystal ball. It's a nice little ambient thing, but you can practice the sounding of the Goranga mantra at any time with just absolutely nothing but your voice. It can be done in the morning, evening. It's good for, before bed, and it can be done in stressful situations like traffic jams, or even just if you feel happy, you can still do Goranga. There's no hard and fast rules. Can interest people in your workplace by just suddenly starting to sing Goranga. They're like, what's that? Wow, I feel so peaceful. So the Goranga mantra is the deep peace meditation, great way to practice meditation. So that is one form of meditation. The second form of meditation, of mantra meditation, the practice is called japa yoga, japa meditation. And in this one we will utilize beads. I was trying to find a smaller set of beads. These are my initiation beads, so they're very long. But you don't need really long beads, and you don't really need these particular Tulsi wood beads. You can actually utilize any kind of plastic beads or seeds or anything that you might be able to find. Even if you don't have a set of 108, which these are, ideally this is the best kind to do 108, but if you can find party beads at a Walmart or something, or a party store, or Party City or something, that is a good starter, just to have something to touch, because in practicing mantra meditation, we're utilizing not only our mind, but all our senses in the practice of meditation, which is usually done in different fashions to try to enjoy and manipulate the material world for our own pleasure. And we find that this is actually unsatisfying, because as a spirit soul of what we really are, we're not our mind or we're not our body, so we can never really, the living entity is never really touched by the attempt to try to engage in the material world through material pleasure. But we can utilize the material energy in the practice of spiritual pursuit. So in the cases of these mantra meditation practices. So in this case, we're going to utilize our touching technique by touching the beads, right? And we're going to utilize speaking and the hearing sense. Our fingers like to fiddle with things, and there's a lot of different examples of this. People either, trying to vape, they're like, or they're trying to find things on their phone, and they're scrolling, and they're touching the phone, and they're scrolling on the phone, and they're clicking, texting, and all these kinds of things that they do with their hands in pursuit of this kind of happiness. But actually, in the practice of mantra meditation, we can utilize the sense of touch to touch the beads in a spiritual practice to help us spiritually. So in the practice of japa yoga, we have these beads, and you can see here I have a little tassel bead, and that's my head bead. When you start with your head, you utilize your right hand. I know this phone is flipped around so it looks like my left hand, but it's actually my right hand. My thumb and my middle finger will hold the bead like that, the head bead. And we start with the head bead, and we can say Goranga, the mantra I taught you before when we start. As we work down the bead, each bead represents a mantra. So in this particular mantra, I'm going to teach you Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana. So you can say each of those mantras together with me. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana. So Gopala Govinda is not, it's just that name of the Supreme Lord. being the dear devotee of the cows and the cowherd boys, but also the master of all the senses. So in this case, we are utilizing this the service of Govinda, and so in Gopala, and Madana Mohana, and of course Rama, having to do with spiritual strength. Like I said, a lot of these mantras, they all have meanings behind them, but for the sake of just practicing, we'll just listen to the sound. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Now that will count as one mantra for one beat. So when we go off of our head beat and we start and we say Goranga, then we go to the beat down, we work our way down and we say Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Now we can say that with the idea of speaking, focusing on our hearing, focusing our mind upon the practice. Once again, the mind will try to change channels and go to something else. That's okay, just bring it back, just like in the Gauranga practice. The more you practice, the more attractive the mantras become. The less interested we are to think about those other things. Now, you may be bringing a lot of baggage to the table. You can check those things for right now at the door. If you want to pick them up later, you can. But for now, we'll just try to focus our mind upon the practice. So you can say this with me. Gauranga. Start down the next beat. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Now if you want, you can close your eyes, or I have a lovely picture of Krishna Balaram behind me. You can focus on that. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. We move down. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Continue. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Okay, so that's about 54 beats, about halfway through the set of 108 beats. Not very difficult to do. But, you know, the important thing to remember for the practice of mantra meditation is, of course, to the consistency. It's not the quantity, but the quality, right? And it's not like doing a whole bunch one day and then not doing it for 3 weeks, but just even if you did 5 or 10 minutes a day, 10 sets of beads, 10 beads on your thing, on your drop of beads, or a few gorangas and the kirtan that I'm going to teach you. That's better than just doing a whole bunch and then not doing it for a long time. It's kind of like going to the gym. You know, you go to the gym, you work out 4 hours, and then you don't go back to the gym for like 6 weeks. You don't really have any results. So similar, if you just do practice every day of a certain amount of time, you're going to see more results. So the important thing is, if you find in your beads that you go all the way around and you get to the end, we don't jump over the bead. We actually turn it around and go back this way, go back the way we came. So it's like a zigzag, back and forth, yo-yo. So if you happen to do a full round, that they call it a round, one all the way through, you can turn around and go back the other way. So we have our Gorunga deep peace meditation that I taught you, and then we have the japa meditation. The third form of mantra meditation is kirtan. In kirtan, I'm going to use the guitar. If you have a guitar and a ukulele or a piano, and you want to utilize you know how to play those things, and you want to utilize your skill, in kirtan you can do that. If you don't know how to do it and you want to learn, that's also another thing. You can also, you know, I also teach lessons, so if you're interested in that, just, you know, you can direct message Yoga Kirtan Hawai'i. But also, you don't really need the guitar or the instrument to sing kirtan. That's what we're going to be doing, because we all have a voice. In kirtan, normally this is done in a group, and there will be a kirtan leader like myself who will lead the kirtan. The rest of the people in the kirtan will listen the first time through, and then the second time through we'll sing it back, and the kirtan leader will listen. So it's sort of like going back and forth. You're constantly engaging your senses, again, in the practice of meditation. So it's a lot of fun. It's not like meditation is supposed to be, you know, quiet and, you know, you have to look a certain way, or you have to be up in the Himalayas or something to do it, you know, or just be on a bummer. It's actually kirtan. Meditation is a lot of fun, actually. Spiritual life is fun. We have a good time. We engage in this kirtan that is joyfully performed. And for this case, I will sing through the mantra one time, and the second time through, or the even times through, you can sing back with me. I'd like to offer respects to my spiritual master, which I'll do one time, and then I'll do a mantra for Lord Chaitanya and associates who initiated this practice of mantra meditation for this day and age. So I'll just sing through this one time through. You know, Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddhasvarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine. Sing it a second time. You can try it, give it a shot. If you don't know it. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddhasvarupananda Srimate Siddhasvarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Paramahamsa Iti Namine. Sing this one. You can listen for Lord Chaitanya. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurata Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda I must have done myself. Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Sing with me Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Now listen Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Sing with me Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Okay, new mantra Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare I'll help you through this one a little bit Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Sorry, battery's dying Rama Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Okay, here's the one we did with Gopala Govinda Rama Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana 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 Sharpa Sweet. Thank you. As I've said before, our YouTube channel and the Yoga Kirtan Hawaii Facebook page has a library of wonderful kirtan that you can always listen to. You can also, if you want to know more about the yoga philosophy, you can go to sif.org to learn more about the science of identity and yoga of wisdom. So my name is Janapati Das. Thank you very much. Let me just recap real quickly. We have the Goranga breathing, we have the japa meditation, and we have kirtan. Those three you can practice in your daily life. We do also have these videos on experience meditation and I believe simply meditation also, if you want to refresh and watch these again. Thank you very much. Namaste. Good night.